먼저 오늘의 연사들의 실력을 공정하게 심사해 주실 심사위원 여러분들을 소개해 드리겠습니다. 네, 심사위원분들 한 분 한 분 소개해 올리도록 하겠습니다.
첫 번째로 권현주 심사위원입니다.
네, 박수 부탁드립니다.
두 번째로 다니엘라 심사위원님입니다. 세 번째로 에이프릴 비비노 심사위원님입니다. 마지막으로 엘비스 킹 심사위원님입니다.
네, 그럼 이어서 저희 오늘 심사위원으로 애써주실 심사위원들 분들께 위촉장을 전달을 하고요. 그 심사위원 대표이신 심사위원장님이신 권현주 선생님께서 심사 기준을 발표해 주시겠습니다. 심사위원 위촉장도 대표로 권현주 심사위원장님께서 수여를 해 주시기 바랍니다. 위촉장 Certificate of Appointment 권현주 귀하를 제14회 경상북도 영어웅변대회 심사위원으로 위촉합니다. The above named person has been duly appointed as a judge of the 14th annual 경상북도 English Speech Contest 2018년 10월 25일 October 21st, 2018 사단법인 한국청소년문화연합 총재 권영대. 네, 위촉장 이름 엘비스 킹. 이하 상장 내용은 생략하도록 하겠습니다. 네, 전달해 주십시오. 위촉장 Certificate of Appointment 에이프릴 비비노. 박수 주세요. Certificate of Appointment 다니엘. 네, 제가 지금 성을 정확하게 불러드리지 못해서 죄송합니다. 미리 확인해드렸어야 되는데, 네, 오늘 여러분들 심사를 맡아주실 심사위원 네 분입니다. 박수 주시기 바랍니다. 네, 그리고 계속해서 심사위원장님이신 권현주 선생님 심사 기준 발표가 이어지겠습니다.
Hello everyone. We are going to judge according to the criteria here. Firstly, pronunciation and fluency, and secondly, your preparation, and then your expression and appeal to the audience. 심사 기준은 여러분들 발음하고 그 다음에 여러분 원고 내용 중에서 토픽이 잘 선택되었나, 그 다음 여러분들 준비한 것, 이 대회를 위해서 얼마나 많은 준비를 했는지, 그 다음에 원고 암기 내용, 암기한 정도, 그 다음 여러분들 그 임팩트 있게 청중들에게 자기 내용을 잘 표현하는지에 대해서 심사하겠습니다. Please try your best. Thank you very much.
Our country's treasure. Everybody likes treasure. Treasure is very rare, noble, and expensive, so people like it. What do you think is our country's treasure? Tokyo has some of my favorite seafood, like squid, walleye, and parrotfish. Hundreds of fish call Tokyo their home. Tokyo is divided into on East Island and West Island. Even though they are small islands, many plants grow there. For example, foxtail, loria, motorwort, and catchfly grow there like treasures. Tokyo also protects our eastern border. just like a gentleman. At these times, Dokdo is our most important treasure. No matter what happens, we must never lose Dokdo to another country. We have to protect our treasure, Dokdo. I want to strongly shout, surely we can protect Dokdo using our power. Everybody, we have to become the kind of people who can protect and love Dokdo forever, using all our strengths to protect Dokdo forever. Mom and Dad have to work at the workplace and at home. Treasures have to become stronger by developing their strengths to firmly stand their ground. What can we do for Dokdo? As elementary school students, I heard this quote once. Little things add up to big things. We should stop wasting time playing computer games and doing nothing. Using this time, we have to try to develop our power. We have to stop wasting our money on snacks and save money. Then, if we study hard, those life habits will improve. This way, we can protect our treasure Dokdo forever.
Who am I? I harbor deep scars from a painful past. In 1905, Japan illegally incorporated me as an outpost for keeping watch over Russian naval fleets, calling me no man's land. But am I really a no man's land as claimed by Japan? Numerous historical Korean maps and documents, including the Chronicles of the Three Kingdoms, published in 1145, record me as a Korean territory since ancient times. Most significantly, the geography section of the Annals of King Sejong's reign, published in 1454, precisely pinpoints my location. What then do Japanese records say? Japan never claimed title to me prior to 1905. The Daejokan document, which came to light in 1987, after remaining concealed for more than a century, is clear evidence that the Japanese government authoritatively confirmed that I did not belong to Japan. But now, Japan is changing its words, contradicting itself by insisting that I have belonged to Japan all along. At first, Japan claimed that I was a no man's land. But now, it is claiming that I have always been a part of its inherent territory. Who would believe such inconsistent and self-contradictory assertions of Japan? I am not its territory. Never was, never will be. I call on Japan to stand humbly before the truth of history. I will ask you again, who am I? Beautiful island of Korea, I am Dokdo.
Dokdo is ours. Hello everyone, I am Lee Ha-jun, a second grader at Jungang Elementary School in Yeongju. While preparing for the English speech contest, I put a lot of thought into the relationship between Korea and Japan. I believe that it is important to have national pride. There was an earthquake that caused the tsunami to form and disaster to strike Japan. A lot of people in the world grieved over the heavy casualties and damage that was caused. However, not long ago, I learned that during this difficult time, a middle school textbook passed inspection that claims Dokdo belonged to the Japanese government. The Japanese took advantage of the confusion during the aftermath of the tsunami to claim Dokdo as their own. Why do they demand that Dokdo belongs to them? There are numerous arguments over which country has right to Dokdo. Some claim Korea has ownership, while others say Japan. None of these assertions can be proven. I think that the matter should be solved by Korea. Japan has always had a strong belief that Dokdo is theirs, while many Koreans have had only a little interest in the island. However, I believe that we, as a nation, should be very concerned over this. From now on, I believe that we should build up enough strength in our claim so that the Japanese can never again claim Dokdo as their own. Dokdo is a part of Korea. Dokdo is ours. Thank you for listening.
계속해서 봉현초등학교 3학년 김성현 학생의 발표가 있겠습니다.
The next speaker is Kim Sung-hyun from Bonghyun Elementary School.
Hello, my name is Kim Sung-hyun. Do you know about this song? 80 kilometers and it costs up from Ulungo. There is a lonely unforeseen bird. Even if whoever purchases the reason, Dokdo is our land. I want to introduce you to Dokdo. The first name was Usando. After that, the island Dokdo renamed as Sambongdo because it has 3 peaks. When there was a lot of eel seal, it was called Kajido. Later, it was called Doisam Sokdo Dokdo. Dokdo is global Korean territory. The first evidence is according to international law. Secondly, Ulungo and Dokdo is global Korean territory. Written on Japanese diplomatic documents, last war in Korea, less dense, and Korea's Dokdo Trans Regiment are serving at this moment. Although it is Korea, Dokdo is ours. Why do Japan insist their territory? Who do you think will win the argument between Japanese kids and Korean kids? I think Japanese kids are more likely to win. That's because Korean kids don't know about the history of Dokdo very well. We must learn about Dokdo and tell other country people, please help us defend Dokdo. We have to protect Dokdo. Thank you.
Let's protect our land, Dokdo. I think I am a patriot. Although I can protect with my little power, I think I am a patriot because of my deep heart for Dokdo. Dokdo has a lot of names except for Takeshima. Dokdo is called Takeshima, which means bamboo island by Japan. It is silly that Japan insists the little island belongs to them. Dokdo, which is not related with bamboo and is close to Ulungdo, is a stone island. They should explain the reason why the island is called Takeshima, which made of stone but bamboo. Dokdo is a stone island, it is not a bamboo island. From now on, I will explain why Dokdo is a land. The representative reasons are like this. First, Dokdo is a land from the time when King Jijun conquered Usan. Second, it is marked that Dokdo is a land in King Sejong royal history, geological documents, and Dongguk Mulanpigo. Third, it is determined that Dokdo is a land by Japan when our country was under King Sukjong in Joseon period. Fourth, Gojong strengthened administrative management for Dokdo and protect Dokdo with 41st imperial order. There are so many proofs that proves Dokdo is a land.
We should explain the reason why Dokdo is on land and should know about Dokdo for the protection of on land Dokdo. There are a few facts about Dokdo. Dokdo is located at the center of East Sea, which is 90 km far from Ulleungdo. It is in Ulleunggun, 경상북도. It is a rocky island which is made from the explosion of volcano and is made of two main rocky islands which are called Dongdo and Seodo and 80-90 rocky islands. The senior Dokdo has a lot of plankton, fish and seafood flourishes in it, and a lot of hydrate which is solid natural gas, like ice, is buried there under the sea. Why they insist Dokdo is the land appointed day for the day of Takeshima, because Dokdo has a huge fishing ground with nature and resources and various fish that live in, so Japan can have it by owning Dokdo. There are a lot of people trying to protect Dokdo. An Myung-bok is the one who crossed to Japan and made Japan admit Dokdo is a land in Kingdom of Joseon period. Captain Hong Sun-chil tried to protect Dokdo by making the girls for Dokdo. Kim Sung-do is living there, settled in Dokdo from 1991. On the other hand, police girls who live in Dongdo is protecting Dongdo has they watch ship passing the sea, enduring pain and the cold. Jung Kwang-tae, who is a singer, is singing the song Dokdo is on land for 30 years and doing his activity as a Dokdo protector and announcing Dokdo to many people. Kim Jang-hoon, who is the singer, led announcing Dokdo by making Dokdo promotion video which has beautiful scenery of Dokdo. Like this, we should do our best for the protection of Dokdo. Everyone remember two things. First, you should explain the Dokdo with details of Dokdo. Second, you should acknowledge from the bottom of the heart that Dokdo is on land. Let's be Dokdo protector, caring and protecting Dokdo who have right knowledge and thoughts about Dokdo. Let's protect our land Dokdo. Thank you for listening to my story.
Hello, my name is Min So-shin. I go to Irang Elementary School in 4th grade. Today, I would like to talk about the importance of responsibility and our sense of ownership that Dokdo is our land. Have you heard of Statue of Peace? When people see her, we say, sorry for not saving you. We cry, sorry for not saving you. And we apologize, sorry for not saving you. So we promise that same situation would never ever happen again. But unfortunately, as history repeats itself, Japan, which gave us pain, once again makes us sad. Japan persists in saying that Dokdo is Japanese land. So I stand here not to lose what is ours, not to regret, and to be sorry. So how can we protect Dokdo? Many people think only rich people or wealthy people could protect this island. But I think anyone who loves Dokdo and believes in justice can save it. We must protect Dokdo in a way that we can do in our own place. A fisherman looking for a new fishing ground accidentally took his first step to Dokdo. Dokdo is the most abandoned fishing area, but it is a barren environment where it's hard to find water. Nevertheless, he built a house and lived there. He decided that he could not leave this island uninhabited because Japan persisting that Dokdo is the land. He did this because just living a person and doing fishery activities could be a great resource to prove that Dokdo is our land. He became resident of Dokdo number 1. It was such hard work for him to live there, but he never gave up. I watched the flash mob on YouTube. People from Ganghamun, elementary schools, secondary institutes, police stations, and at the Eiffel Tower participated in the same dance to the song, Dokdo is our land. This event was enough to attract people's attention, and once again remind us that Dokdo is our land. I want to protect Dokdo in a way that I can as a student. I like to study English. I don't study English only to get 100 points at the exam. It's because I'm getting closer to the world. I can interact with people from other countries, know their histories, and worry and prepare for the future together. Studying my favorite subject, English, I find ways to protect our precious and lovely island. Nowadays, people are getting various information through SNS. I also noticed the false information that Dokdo is Japanese land is being passed on to people. It was unfortunate and frustrating to give false information to people who do not know our history. So I decided to tell the world that Dokdo is a land by correcting wrong information written in English to protect Dokdo. If we change a little bit of each person's thoughts, I believe that someday people around the world will know that Dokdo is our land. It is a sense of responsibility and mastery to know that there is no one to save his country and body and house unless he wills himself, and that no one can save his country and nation unless he asks for it. These are the words of Dosanan Chang-ho, a highly respected Korean independence leader. Now that Japan's false claim to Dokdo is growing, it is time for us to preserve our own land Dokdo by reaffirming his words. Thank you for listening.
A few days ago, I happened to see a very strange-looking flag of the Japanese army on the news. I asked my father about the flag. My father explained the flag and told me the history behind the flag called Ugil. The image of the flag means sun and sunlight. But the important thing to know is that the Ugil flag was used in the battle by the Japanese army during the Second World War. When Japan invaded our country, Korea, the flag was in their first line of army troops who killed so many people. It is a symbol of Japanese militarism. Japan does not feel any shame for invading our land. Today, Japan still claims that Dokdo is their own land. But Dokdo is a precious island that our ancestors have passed down. We cannot allow the strange-looking Ugil flag to ever fly on Dokdo again. We should study hard and learn more about Dokdo and insist that Dokdo. In science class, we learn about the natural resources of Dokdo and its animals and plants. To know Dokdo is to love Dokdo. In art class, we draw Dokdo and make sculpture of Dokdo. To remember its importance, we make all of Dokdo posters and slogans to remind the people of our love for Dokdo. As a student, I can practice many ways. Today, to defend against Japan's continuous claim that Dokdo is their territory, we need to pay attention to the news about Dokdo. We can also make SNS blog about Dokdo. We can also insist that Dokdo is our land to all of the world. We are all the guardian angels of Dokdo, keeping the love for Dokdo forever. Thanks for listening my speech.
Hi, I'm Kim Ji-an, 5th grade student of Newton Elementary School. My father is a military man in the 6th Air Force. My family followed in many places, such as 경남 사천, 광주 광역시, 경남 진주. Now, I'm live in Yecheon. I wrote about the Dokdo during school campaign. I also heard about the Dokdo Golden Bell Kid. I thought it's weird, but I joined the kid. Before, I prepared the kids to meet. Dokdo is the outline in the song. Do you know this song? 울릉도 동남쪽 빗길 따라 200리 외로운 섬 하나 새들의 고향. The place that I grew up didn't teaching about Dokdo. With Dokdo Golden Bell, I wrote many things, so I want to share with you. Dokdo is located in Asia. It has been since located on the Usangu in 512. And the Japanese-made government also admitted in 1877. Annyeongbok also protested against Japan. Captain Hongsun-til found the Arrow Dokdo with guardian of Dokdo. Even now, Japan claims Dokdo to be his land, specifying the Dokdo Day. And they're educating their students about that. It doesn't make sense. Dokdo have not only beautiful scenery, but also fertile marine resources such as metal hybrid. I think that's the reason. Now, I have two wishes. One thing is traveling to Dokdo. My family love trip, and we want many islands in the nation, like Jeju-do, Hansan-do, Sarang-do, Do-do, Do-do, Ho-do. For now, I can only see the island through the video clip, but I really want to go there someday. Second thing is, we should write about the Dokdo, not just in 경상북do, but every place in the nation. We need to know why it belongs to us in historical, geographical, international reasons. And freely tell them, the Dokdo is our land. My family are going to visit Dokdo next year. I want to see their lovely sea, wildflower, the dome named Hungmi Pengmi. I'm going to say thanks to Dokdo Guard. We should be united so they can no longer claim Dokdo again. Thank you for listening to my story.
In 2015, the Japan diplomatic blue book that was written by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs came out into the open. The Japan diplomatic blue book is an annual report where Japan sadly still claims that Dokdo is their territory. The report even went as far, claiming that Korea is the most important neighbor nation and that Takeshima is clearly inherent Japanese territory. Japan makes absurd remarks about Dokdo every year and insists that Dokdo is Japanese territory. But Dokdo is inherent Korean territory. The lyrics of the Dokdo song sung by Koreans goes as follows. The east-south of Ulung Island is 80 kilometers by ship. Our lonely island and hometown of the bird. Even though some insist that it is their land, Dokdo is our land. Many Koreans have been living on Dokdo Island and there are many Korean soldiers. However, Japan still wants to take Dokdo. Can you believe it? Korean people will never be able to accept that Japan wants to claim Dokdo as theirs and want to use for territorial and the Japanese right-wing lunatics and government are resurrecting colonialism and imperialism. And we as the people of Korea want to stand for this. Abe and his government enforced the execution of the security bill in September, and the Japanese government is going to expand strong military power to the rest of the world. These are ridiculous actions. taken by the Japanese government in an attempt to threaten Korea and claiming Dokdo as theirs. Korean will not resist. Why? Because Dokdo is inherently Korean territory, geographically and historically. Dokdo is Korean territory and Japan has no right to take Dokdo. Most of the world's maps express the EC as Sea of Japan and refer to Dokdo as Takeshima. This isn't the end of Japan's journey. The observers distorted history and curve a turn on South Korea and Japan relationship. I can't endure Japan's journey. According to data, there are many underground resources on Dokdo. It is for this reason that Japan wants to claim Dokdo as theirs and want to use for territorial expansion and the underground resources. This is a disgraceful action. Most of the world is not aware of the dispute between the Japan and Korea. Many organizations, including banks, try to make people aware of the dispute between the two countries over Dokdo territory. But this is not enough. What should we as Koreans do regarding this matter, and what should we do to guard Dokdo? It is simple, and I'll let you know the method. First, Korean people need to educate themselves on this matter. Knowledge is the most fundamental source, and also represent as evidence as the people of their country. It should be an obligation. Secondly, if we are informed, we will be able to inform our fellow Korean citizens and people around the world. The situation regarding Dokdo and Korean people's struggle can be made known worldwide. Thirdly, we should leave it to the record as the pen is mightier than the sword. As Koreans, we can overcome anything blocking our way. We will not be afraid of Japan. After 1940, in an attempt to distort Japanese historical materials, all of Japan maps, marine maps, and coast pilot starting using Jukdo Island to refer Dokdo Island. Koreans must not submit to Japan. We will overcome anything blocking our way. Long live Republic of Korea!
Hello everyone, I am Park Tae-kyung from Yongchugan Elementary School in 5th grade. I'm going to talk about the boundless world of Japan. Japan is telling a lie with their history and discussing their stories in textbooks. In 1948, Suzuki, a Japanese man, declared that the care of Japan could Korean economic development. In 1949, a document that was written by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said that contribution of Japan modernized economy, society, and culture of Korea. But these opinions are like Japanese boundless words. There has been an everlasting and oversight, which is the Japanese Army's comfort agreement. All the grandmothers who suffered from the Japanese Army's comfort agreement. However, the Japanese government used to try to hide the truth with simple apologies and reflection. However, Japan spoke such a thousand words. Our media sources got confused and nations got angry. Whenever they speak, the truth of history will reveal. We shall return with that which belongs to our country. Next, I am going to talk about the history of Dokdo. Ulungdo and Dokdo Island in the Silla dynasty were named Usan Island. Also, Dokdo was called Jasan Island, which means son of Usan Island. Then, in 1471, it was called Hambongdo. In 17
its original name means 10 years of Guangmu. According to Chinese characters, Dokdo means lonely island. But actually the name of Dokdo joins syllables in Chinese, unlike what a beautiful rocky island means. Japanese who insisted Dokdo belongs to Japan named Dokdo, Takeshima or Mishima. I thought that I want to grow up for keeping Dokdo. In 1887, a map which was made from Ministry of Japanese Navy, they marked Dokdo as Korean territory. I wish Japanese people will stop insisting Dokdo is their territory. With this, I'll end my presentation. Thank you.
What can we do to keep Dokdo? A few days ago, I got to read an article while surfing the internet. The title of the article was "A 90-year-old Dokdo keeper informs people of Dokdo, a mysterious island." The old man with gray hair and lots of wrinkles, holding an open book with a big smile in the picture, was carried next to the article. He is the very Lim Min-chul. He has taught Hangul at the Senior Welfare Institution and done volunteer activities at the library for over 20 years since he retired from teaching students. One day, he happened to join a speech contest held in Dokdo. He said to himself, "I won't leave Dokdo as it is." Since then, he has begun to write the book, informing people of Dokdo, a mysterious island. First of all, we all need to know Dokdo exactly. In the book, there is not only much information about Dokdo, but also the pictures of Dokdo under the rule of Japanese imperialism. Besides, there are papers of his own translation which prove Dokdo to be a Korean territory in public international law, including 3 poems written by him. He hopes the book will be supplied for free throughout the country and read by many people. Therefore, he wants people to know Dokdo more easily and closely. Reading the article that the 90-year-old man tries to keep Dokdo, I also got to have a mind I should do something for Dokdo. For this reason, I decided to join this contest. Also, I got to learn more about Dokdo and have more interests in Dokdo preparing this contest. Once, there was a talk between Kim Jang-hun, a singer, and the head of a bank. What can we do to keep Dokdo? We should not neglect that Dokdo is only my territory, but should make foreigners understand the reason why Dokdo is my territory. With concrete evidence, that's the solution. Have you ever watched an information video about Dokdo? With the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade had made a few months before? Watch it. Any Koreans can explain to people logically and evidently that Dokdo is our territory. We have clear historical backgrounds in which Dokdo is our territory, historically and geographically. In addition, in the move, there are some contradictions of Japanese insistence that the island totally belongs to Japan. If you have not watched it, be sure to watch it at least once. I hope we Koreans will be able to answer the questions unhesitatingly regarding why is Dokdo a Korean territory? Why don't you try to find something for Dokdo in your position? From this contest on, I will be interested in Dokdo's problem and try to inform people that it is our territory. Thanks for listening. Have you ever heard about Osang? I would like to tell you a little bit about the story. This is a story about a persimmon tree at Osang's house. In the front yard of Osang's house, there was a big persimmon tree. The tree was so big and tall that it could reach over the neighbor's fence. In autumn, when the tree grew delicious fruit, the neighbor took all of the persimmons from the tree without permission and ate them. Osang argued, saying, "The persimmons are mine. Why did you take and eat them all without my permission? It's not fair." Then the neighbor became angry and blamed Osang. The neighbor said, "Yours? They are mine because they are over my fence." Because of neighbor's unfair attitude, Osang decides to poke his fist through the neighbor's paper door to make a big hole and edge. "Whose fist is this?" The neighbor replied, "It's yours, obviously." "Yes, then the persimmon fruit on my tree that reached over your fence are surely mine too." Then the neighbor finally agreed and apologized. During this story, Osang was in his early teens like us. This is why I told you this story. What do you know about Dokdo? With much historical evidence and many documents, we know that Dokdo belongs to Korea. But Japan insists that Dokdo is their land. Our ancestors have passed down this precious island to us, and all we have to protect it. As students, we should know more about our island Dokdo. If we know more about Dokdo, we can defeat Japan's continuous claim that Dokdo is their territory. In social studies, we can learn about our history correctly in order to explain to the citizens of the world that Dokdo belongs to Korea. We can discuss the Dokdo issue with other students. We can also make a petition to bring awareness to the Dokdo issue. Doing this is the way of our showing our love for Dokdo as the guardian angels of it forever. Thank you so much.
Ladies, gentlemen, and my fellow Koreans, I am happy to have a chance to speak of the past of the long territorial dispute over Dokdo Island between Korea and Japan. It is often said when Japan is neighboring country so close yet so far to us Koreans. Japan is polarized on the issue and bothered us until now. We have a lot of historical and further evidence proving our ownership for Dokdo. General Lee Sabu of Silla Dynasty 1,000 years ago and General An Yongbok of Joseon Dynasty received an official document confirming Dokdo as a Korea property from Japan. More recently, General Hong Sun-chil of the Korean Empire conscripted militia to defend Dokdo from Japanese invasion. Their moving story of sacrifice would bring a tear to my eyes. To say it again, we have never given up right on Dokdo. Then, what made Japan continue to be so greedy of it? First, its geographical conditions are in good preservation. It is too beautiful for words. Secondly, it is known as a rich repository of natural resources and resources. I think that's one of the biggest resources Japan is greedy. May look humble and even difficult to find in a world map, but it is national spirit our good preservation of forefatherly. I would like to tell you is only this, for me and for you. Let's be the guardians of Dokdo Island. Thank you for listening.
Have you ever heard this song? 저 멀리 동해 바다 외로운 섬 오늘도 거센 바람 불어오겠지 조그만 얼굴로 바람 맞으니 독도야 간밤에 잘 잤느냐. This is Dokdo Arirang. We sing this song to express our love for Dokdo. We love the small island Dokdo in the East Sea of Korea. It has been ours for thousands of years. But Japan is claiming that Dokdo is their land. Japan is trying to make because of its many natural resources. How greedy! Japan's attitude is similar to that of the bad mother who appealed to King Solomon. You may know about the famous judgment of King Solomon. Two prostitutes came to the king and stood before him. One of them said, "My lord, this woman and I live in the same house. I had a baby while she was there with me. The third day after my child was born, this woman also had a baby. We were alone, there was no one in the house but the two of us. During the night, this woman's son died because she lay on him. So she got up in the middle of the night and took my son from my side while I, your servant, was asleep. She put by her breast and put her dead son by my breast. The next morning I got up to nurse my son and he was dead. But when I looked at him closely in the morning light, I saw that it wasn't my son." The other woman said, "No, the living one is my son, the dead one is yours." But the first one insisted, "No, the dead one is yours, the living one is mine." And so they argued before the king. The king said, "This one said, 'My son arrived and your son is dead,' while that one said, 'No, your son is dead and mine is alive.' Then the king said, 'Bring me a sword.' He then gave an order, cut the living child in two and give half to one and half to the other. The woman whose son was alive was filled with compassion for her son and said to the king, 'Please, my lord, give her the living baby, don't kill him.' But the other said, 'Neither I nor yours have him cut him in two.' Then the king gave his ruling, give the living baby to the first woman. Do not kill him, she is his mother. As this story said, who do you think is the real mother of Dokdo? Does Japan have any compassion for the island of Dokdo? Dokdo belongs to Korea, and this is a fact we should be very proud of it. Also, we should send messages that Dokdo is ours to citizens of the world. I will be the very best messenger in doing this. Will you join me in doing the valuable work? Please raise your hand if you love Dokdo and are willing to be another messenger. Thank you for listening.
Hello, I am Hyonan and I am in the 6th grade at Busan Elementary School. Today, I speak about Dokdo Island and Dokdo Pride. A couple of months ago, I had a chance to see a Dokdo Facebook video that was filmed in the square of Yeongju train station. That performance with hundreds of them touched my heart. When I came back home, I saw many pictures of Dokdo on the internet. Among those was one picture of an animal impressed me a lot. I thought this animal looked at me deeply beyond the picture frame. Do you know what it is? Yes, it was the sea lion we say in Korean, Gangchi. This cute animal could be found throughout the east coast including Dokdo, but it is now extinct. Dokdo is known as home of sea lion as there were about 50,000 sea lions living there. Unfortunately, they are now extinct because of Japan's poaching. When experts conducted research to find the reason for their extinction, they first discovered the sea lion in a Japanese manual in 1994. There are many pictures that show the Japanese poaching the sea lion on Dr. Kazala. They hunted them in a very cruel manner. Their skin was very smooth, so it was used to make bag. The lower layer of skin was used to make oil, and their skeleton was used in manure. It was very appalling to me to learn this information. We couldn't protect them at that time, so now we can never meet this cute Gangchi anymore. Some people may ask what the relation is between the extinction of the sea lion and the history of Dokdo. Sea lions were the first Korean victim to suffer from Japanese imperialism. To claim Dokdo's fishery right, Japanese fishermen argued that Dokdo should be transferred to Japan. Do you think Japan's actions are morally just? Japan has now apologized to us, and they continue to use the sea lion as a character in Takashima advertisement. Do you think Japan's actions are morally just? They describe the sea lion as if they were friends, but they actually kill them for their own benefit. Japanese are teaching their 5th and 6th grade to learn less about history of Dokdo. What do you think about Japan's action? I feel very sad because our history is being distorted. What are something we can do to save our history of Dokdo? Firstly, we must know why Dokdo is our territory. Through images and historical documents on the website dokdo-takeshima.com, it becomes clear Dokdo Island is considered Korean territory. Even though the author of the website is Canadian, he learned about Dokdo. He analyzes and defends Dokdo in a rational and academic manner, while not getting caught up in emotion. Now we should all do the same. Secondly, we should try to maintain natural monument and beautiful landscape. We can spread the word to continue the movement of preserving Dokdo's ecology. Dokdo Island is a blessing and should be treated with respect. Lastly, we can participate in Dokdo-related events. to inform people that Dokdo is Korean territory. One of the ways we can do this is by sending letters to Dokdo crowd and citizen. Dokdo is very similar to a plant. Plant will when don't give them water and love. The best way to support and tend to Dokdo is to give the love and attention it deserves. So, Dokdo will limit hours. Let's love Dokdo. Thanks for listening. Dokdo is a Korean territory. 독도는 우리 땅.
Hello everyone, nice to meet you. I am Lee In-Yu, 6th grade of Gangpyeong Elementary School in Gumi. I am so pleased to share with all of you about our beautiful island Dokdo. I know that everyone loves Dokdo Island and also I have a precious memory about it. Do you know how to get to Dokdo Island? My dad worked in Ulan Island for 4 years since when he was 4 years old. So my family went to Ulan Island very often and I have learned about geographic, traffic and environment of it. Also, I have a lot of special memories in there. From Ulan Island to Dokdo Island takes 1 hour and 4 minutes by ship. Do you know that visiting a fantastic Dokdo Island is very difficult? It is a great love. The very first moment that I stepped in Dokdo Island, I'm so thrilled to think of it now. I am sure that the people of South Korea would be proud and love of Dokdo Island. Also, many countries know that Dokdo Island is our land. However, some people of Japanese are trying to steal our beautiful Dokdo Island. They even included that Dokdo Island is Japan territory in students' textbook. They are claiming Dokdo Island. In addition, many students in Japan learn that South Korea is trying to steal it from them. Then, why does Japan want to take Dokdo Island? I can summarize why Japan wants to take it in 3 reasons. First of all, they can have a sea along Dokdo Island and will have ownership of territorial seas around it. Secondly, they can take many resources, especially enormous tidal lake has been very light under the sea. Lastly, they are able to keep an eye on the powerful countries such as China and Russia, because Dokdo Island is located in the middle of the East Sea. But Dokdo Island is our land in historical reason and by its distance. In addition, it is documented in many books such as Haejongsil록, 지리집, and Article Fragment of the Order of the Korean Empire. In the 17th century, Japan admitted that Dokdo Island is land of South Korea themselves. In addition, they signed the Kyoto Declaration and promised to give up our lands back. But Japan has designated the date of Nakashima on March 16, 2005. And they are claiming that Dokdo Island is their land with systematic friend. So people of South Korea are trying to protect Dokdo Island in many ways. At the school, there is a lot of education about Dokdo Island, events related to Dokdo, Dokdo Golden Bell, and so on. So students are enlightened that Dokdo Island by these efforts. In South Korea, the defense of Dokdo Island declared Day of Dokdo Island in 2000. And the Council of 경상북도 declared Month of Dokdo Island on October 2005. Also, Korean Teachers Association declared Day of Dokdo Island on October 25, 2010.
Unfortunately, there is no national holiday over Dokdo Island currently. Somewhere in finding is us, who is gathered here as a result of the future. And I think we, who care and love Dokdo Island, have to unite as one. To be honest, I participated in this wonderful event for the first time this year. I wish that many students have a genuine interest over Dokdo Island through this event. And I want to be a contribution to this event as well. Dokdo Island is land of proud South Korea, and we are one. No matter what happens, Dokdo is a Korean territory. One more time, 독도는 우리 땅, 우리 땅. Thank you for listening to my speech. God bless you.
Many people say, I know the Dokdo well. You think so too? Well, the Dokdo became an official Korean territory in 1900 as the Korean Imperial Decree number 41. So, it is illegal that Japan found and take the Dokdo in 1905. Korean Imperial already set the government office in Ulleungdo, sent the officer to the Dokdo and take care of it. The claim is nonsense. Here is my thought. I understand how the Japanese feel. The Dokdo is really tempting place in many reasons. First, it has military advantages like watching Navy process about Russia, Japan, and North Korea. Second, around the Dokdo, there are high-value natural fishing grounds. Third, it has many resources under the sea such as methane hydrate. Last, the Dokdo is a very beautiful place in the world. Everyone knows that Dokdo is worthy. From now on, Japan will continue to try steal the Dokdo and that area. Because of this, we have to prepare several things. For me, it's interest to Dokdo. The more we know about Dokdo, the more we can protect our land from others. Let's start with sing a song, 독도는 우리 땅, 우리 땅. And we have to run about Dokdo Day, which shows powerful will to protect our land, our Dokdo. Lastly, the Dokdo is our graceful island. I wish we could save our land and make it more beautiful place in the world, ever and after. I'm Jimmy Lee, student from Newton Elementary School in Newton. Thank you for listening my speech.
There's a persimmon tree in my yard. We planted and watered our tree. We took care of it. It grew well and had a lot of fruit. One day, a neighbor came to me and said it was theirs. They kept saying to me and other neighbors, like the tree owner, we Koreans don't care about the rude life. But Japan is acting like a 3-year-old baby. Everybody, do you know whose territory Dokdo is? Of course, Dokdo is our land. Our ancestors passed down the precious island to us. However, Japan keeps trying to take Dokdo away from Korea. Historically, all documents recorded that Dokdo is territory of Korea. 삼국사기 and 세종실록 줄지 wrote it. and a diplomatic document recognized that this is true. Geographically, Dokdo is 87 kilometers east of Ulleungdo Island. Also, it is 157 kilometers west of Japan. Even our Japanese maps show that Dokdo is an island of Korea. Dokdo is our territory by international law. When Korea gained its independence from Japan in 1945, the three Allied powers issued the Cairo Declaration. This meant that Japan would have to return any territories they had taken by violence. Dokdo was also returned. This decision was reaffirmed in the San Francisco Treaty. Since then, Dokdo has been under Korean control. It is clear that Dokdo is a Korean island. But why does Japan insist on making false claims to the island in their textbooks? Dokdo is very valuable island. The seas surrounding are rich in marine resources. It's also a rich fishing ground, and there are a lot of natural resources for the future. Japan doesn't want only a small island, but they really want to grow their territory in the East Sea. If Dokdo becomes Japan's island, our fishermen will lose their livelihood. What should we do to protect Dokdo? First, we should read and study books about Dokdo. Second, if we have a chance to go, we can visit our land. Third, we can take part in the school essay writing contest. Finally, we should actively promote awareness about Dokdo issue. We all have a responsibility to save the precious island. We have to teach the world why Dokdo belongs to Korea. But we must act rationally and speak calmly. Thank you for listening.